Let's analyze the stock market trading session for today, Monday, April 25, 2022. This is a daily chart of the S&P 500. For the record, I am long via the UPRO ETF. I bought it today after hours. Why did I do that? Well, look at the candle. Is that bullish or what? That is a reversal candle. Let's take a look at the 5-minute chart and look at the price action for today. Gapped lower, consolidated for a few hours, and it finally broke out of this range, closing near the high of the day. After hours, my order got filled around the same price as the closing price. Really, under different market conditions, this would have been a good entry right here when it pushed about 42.55 when it made a new intraday high. But it's been kind of flaky, very many fake moves, so I decided just to wait until the end of the day, until the closing price, because many times you end up with a big sell off at the end of the day. So I decided to just pay more to see more. Small position, of course, about half the normal size that I take. For that same reason, I haven't been in sync with the market so far the last three trades, so I'm trying to minimize risk. I cannot completely eliminate risk because the setup was there, got us a buy signal, so I had to take it. Now back to the daily chart. This was a magic number, 4,200. Bounced off that. Levels that I'll be watching tomorrow. Oh, my hard stop loss is below today's low, but really discretionary stop loss that I'll be watching closely will be around 42.50, 42.40. Once it starts dipping below that level, I will even consider liquidating my position. After this big sell off, big drop of 300 points, roughly 300 points, more than 300 points in 3 days. Really, it was two sessions plus today early in the morning hit the bottom. So it was a very quick drop. If it really wants to go, keep the momentum going to the upside, it shouldn't even dip below 42.40. To the upside, of course, there's a pivot point here around 43.30, 44.50, but really what I'm going to be paying attention to will be the declining 5-day moving average. That's the one I'm going to be watching very closely. It really depends when and how we approach that 5-day moving average. I can either liquidate my position or add to my position. We'll see. We'll play session by session, of course. For the Nasdaq 100, same as the S&P 500, of course, they move in the same direction most of the time, and today was no exception. Big reversal for this one. For the record, I'm also long via TQQQ ETF. I bought it after hours. For this one, similar pattern. Let's take a look at the 5-minute chart. Of course, similar pattern to the S&P 500. For this one, I was watching this level, 13,400. I said if it closes above this level, 13,400, I will buy. And that was the case. Back to the daily chart. Here's that 13,400 level. This was a level that I was watching very closely. My stop loss, small position I bought off also below today's lows. My hard stop loss dips below that, and my order will execute automatically. No questions asked. I'll take my loss and move on. But I'll be watching this level very closely tomorrow. If for some reason we end up dipping below this level, I think it should hold based on the magnitude of this move. This below 13,400, I will consider liquidating my position. That will be a bad sign once you start dipping below that level. To the upside, levels that I'll be watching 13,600, right above 13,700, and of course the 5-day moving average. That's the most important level that I'll be watching. Same as the S&P 500. It depends how and when we approach that level. Be watching that very closely, and I can either liquidate my position into that moving average or I will add to my position. But the trend is to the downside, so most likely we'll probably find strong resistance and end up pushing lower. But we'll see. The trend could change. Now for the semiconductor index, very choppy. Of course, got a reversal also. Um, Closed around this very strong resistance, which was now is resistance. It was support at this level, this zone. It's been very choppy. This one's been very choppy. So I decided not to play it. Levels that I'll be watching tomorrow for clues to see, because obviously this one affects the Nasdaq 100 very directly. I'll be watching the 5-day. Well, they're together, the 5-day and the 10-day moving averages. If I see that it finds resistance around those moving averages, and like I said, at the same time, the Nasdaq dips below that level that I talked about, was at 13,400, I will liquidate my position. But if this one keeps pushing above that, which will approach that level before the Nasdaq 100, I will consider going long the semiconductor index. So if I see that this one pushes above the 5 and the 10-day moving average, I will consider going long. Now for the Dow Jones Industrial Average, big reversal, of course, also. I didn't do a good job drawing that. Very choppy. 34,000 was a big level. Let me draw this all the way across. And now it actually closed around that area. It is below all these moving averages. So expect lots of resistance to the upside. Like I said, all these moving averages are now sloping down. So expect lots of resistance. Now for the Russell 2000, same. Nice bounce. This one around 190. That was a nice pivot point, and below that is 187, which has been acting as resistance, a support twice before. 187, it was here and then here also. It is far away from all these moving averages, so expect a bounce to at least the 5-day moving average. If it doesn't even approach the 5-day moving average, then I will tell you a lot about how weak this bounce will be. For now, I think you cannot really conclude anything. It's just following all the other indices. I think the most technical of all the indices was that bounce of the S&P 500 at 4,200. But of course, I'll be watching this one very closely. You never know. Sometimes, can end up leading to the upside. Market dropped too much too fast, so I'm just playing as an oversold bounce. We'll see. Like I said, once it approaches a 5-day moving average and starts pushing above that level, then that will change. But for now, it's just oversold and expect resistance around the 5-day moving average. I know I mentioned that the 5-day moving average a lot, but I follow that very closely for short-term trend reversals. Well, thanks for stopping by and good luck trading tomorrow.